you have any questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody have a good trick on, you know, the coconut milk, it separates in the can? I have a really hard time getting that mixed together. I usually make them
You can make whipped coconut cream with a thick part.
But how do you get the two together?
So I use
Pour it
my
out. Yeah, you can pour it out in something else. You almost have to do that.
You almost have to do it, okay, that's what I do.
I use my immersion blender.
Yeah.
It fits inside the can. So I do have to pour some off because it's going to start to whip it up.
Yeah,
But the other thing you can do, immersion blenders fit in the blender bottles. So you pour the coconut milk out into there. This is 24 ounces. The can is 15 or 16. You can turn on the immersion blender, whip it up, and then the little spout here lets you pour it right back into whatever you're doing.
I've been having one of those too.
Do we know how much the blender bottles are?
I believe they're like $6 or $7.
Oh, yeah, it's easy to do that. $7, $8.
I usually pour my can of milk into a mason jar, pint,
Yeah,
and then use a whisk, small whisk.
another option. Some of those mason jars, again, the immersion blender will fit in there, so you got a bunch of options. Yeah.
For non-blended smoothies, my current breakfast one is actually the Amino Sculpt and Super Fuel with just water and then the brain octane to match grams of protein to fat, and there you go. You literally shake it up and you run out the door.
Yeah, it's one of those 2-minute quick things. The Super Fuel is a greens blend that also has some digestive support in it, some energy support, some immune support. Doesn't really taste like much, so it's nice to mix it with something that has some taste like the Amino Sculpt. Yeah, some people go nuts for it. That's kind of in the realm of Mary Jo likes the way Spanish black radish tastes.
I know, I'm crazy.
I would like the Super Fuel to taste like grass rather than the cherry, but that's just me.
That's just you.
Still drink it every day.
Yeah. Other questions that are coming up? And keep in mind, the questions don't only have to be about breakfast.
What is your take on grapeseed oil? Speaking of other questions, is it good or bad, grapeseed oil?
That's like, so here's my concern. Grapeseed oil is typically a byproduct of companies making other products. Okay? And my concern is that often they don't care about what the grapeseed oil experience is before it's bottled up. So they might leave it out in a vat in the factory or processing center, exposed to air, and then it begins to oxidize and break down. And it starts to go rancid before it's even bottled. Then Lord knows how long it's on a truck or sitting on a store shelf the whole time it's breaking down. By the time you get it, it might be junk. A lot of companies will deodorize, like purify the oil, so that if it has gone rancid, you can't even smell that it's gone rancid.
Oh, okay.
So then I'm like, so now I'm being lied to, and I don't even know it's poison. Yeah. Good question. Other questions that are bubbling up. I hear wheels turning. I know somebody has one out there. All right, you lovely humans. Yeah.
All right, I have a question. I'm eating the bulletproof bars.
Yeah.
And sometimes after I eat it, and pretty much all the time afterwards, I kind of get sick to my stomach.
Oh, that's not fun.
I mean, it doesn't, it's not, I mean, I just kind of almost feel like it's going to, but it doesn't actually get that.
I'm glad to hear
I
that
just
part.
wondered,
Yeah.
is there something in there that I must not be?
The protein source in those is collagen. The main ingredient is cashew butter, though. I'd want to see you test it on cashews to see if your body's agreeing with that, because there's a whole bunch of cashew in there. Some people at cashews just don't sit well with them.
I ate almost half a jar of cashew butter in the last couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, and I was sitting okay with you?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rest of that ingredient list, then I'm wondering,
Okay.
was it with all the flavors? Have you tried all 3 flavors?
Yeah, well, the lemon one lately, I guess, is the one that's really, the newest one is the one I like most, and now.
Gotcha. And the big difference with the lemon flavor compared to vanilla and chocolate is that there's some tapioca in there. So that could be a factor also. Yeah. Good question. You guys got me thinking. Way to go.
If I'm not buying organic eggs,
Yeah.
is there an egg in the grocery store shelf that's better than others?
Before I look for the word organic on the eggs, I look for pasture raised. There's a company called Blue Sky, it's at Sendix. They have, and they explain it on their packaging, it's pretty cool. They have 4 tiers of quality eggs. So I look for Blue Sky all the time when I go to Sendix. You live nearby, right? Cool, yeah, right here at the Sendix. There's pasture raised, there's cage free, and I don't know what the next 2 tiers are. But basically, they explain the difference, and then you can decide, is it more important for me to get more of the omega-3s, or am I looking, like, what are you looking for? You can determine what it is you're looking for. Yeah. Very good.
After you eat breakfast, when should you eat lunch?
Oh, really good question. So activity level is going to be a huge factor. Fun little thing to keep in mind. Your brain uses as many calories to do its work as your entire body does. So if you ever feel stupid, you probably aren't eating enough.
I'm gonna start getting eaten up.
Or you need more ginkgo.
Say, I need more ginkgo. I have, there's plenty left in there. So, if you're training for a triathlon, if you're studying for your master's degree, if you're running a daycare center, if you have a high-intensity job, you're probably going to eat lunch sooner, because I'm not going to tell you to just eat this gigantic breakfast and try to make your way to 4 p.m. So it's really going to depend on how your day goes. Typically, if breakfast is at 7 a.m., lunch should be around noon to 1, and then supper should be at about 6 to 7. That's a really consistent intake of nutrient for you, but it still gives you a nice 12-hour stretch of time when you're sleeping for that little quick fast kind of thing. That make sense? Mm-hmm. Answer the question? Yeah? Cool.
How much protein should you eat in breakfast?
Usually I recommend people get between 20 and 30 grams of protein at a meal, because more than that is very difficult for the body to process. All the smoothie recipes we put together have between 20 and 30 grams of protein. Just saying. And I match that gram for gram with fat. Every meal.
1 gram? Did you just say? I'm sorry.
Yeah, gram for gram. So
Gram
if there's
for gram.
30 grams of protein in a meal, I'm going to find a way to get 30 grams of fat in that meal.
I'm having a really hard time with that, but.
Okay. Step by step. That might be part of the, actually, now that you say that, that might be part of what you were feeling. The bars talking back to you, because those bars pretty well match gram for gram. So you might have something, liver, gallbladder kind of thing going on with the digestion of those fats. That could cause the nausea, the talking back to you kind of thing. A tablespoon of butter is 12 grams of fat. Yeah. A tablespoon of coconut oil is 12 grams of fat.
1 tablespoon is approximately.
So how many
12 grams.
How much protein should you have per day?
Per day, that's an activity level question also. I'm not trying to just rely on that exclusively. And there's a lot of factors in that. So I can't make a general statement. What I can tell you is the more active you are, the more you think in a given day, the more protein you should have. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to create confusion. That's where I would have you start. Really active days, more protein. You're using your muscles, you're using your brain, you got to fuel.
$30 grams is how many ounces, approximately? Like I'm talking like meat or something.
So like 3.5 ounces of beef is going to be 20 to 25 grams. Most meats, it's going to be 3 to 4 ounces is going to get you in that 20 to 30 grams of protein range. Turkey, fish, chicken, etc. Most eggs have 6 to 8 grams of protein. Good questions.
Good class.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I like when you guys come out for these. It's a good thing. Because your question helps you, and your question helps her, and your question helps them, and it's good stuff. All right, you lovely humans, I want you to go out to the world and do good to it. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you.